Good evening. I'm Kevin Christopher.
And I'm Angie Bevan, giving Nancy Cox's voice a little break tonight. Thanks for joining us at 6. Well, there is no end in sight to the government shutdown as the U.S. Senate fails to pass either of dueling bills to get federal workers back on the job.
A Republican-sponsored bill that funded President Trump's border wall received 50 yes votes, but that's far short of the 60 needed for passage. Then the Senate voted on the Democrats' bill, which has already passed the House, to fund the government through February 8th. That bill included no money for the wall, though. 6 GOP senators broke ranks to support the legislation, but it also fell short of the needed 60 votes to pass. And so the partial government shutdown continues on this day 34, with workers missing their second paycheck tomorrow. Furloughed workers at Bluegrass Airport continue to do their jobs despite not getting paychecks. A
non-furloughed employee felt compelled to help them, so he opened a food bank at the airport today. LEX 18's Lee Searcy was there when the doors opened and joins us live with how it went.
That is right. The donations have been pouring here at Bluegrass Airport since Scott Lanner had the idea to help his furloughed workers. The kindness is contagious.
Another workday for TSA employees who aren't getting a paycheck. Non-furloughed employees at Bluegrass Airport can't help but notice the struggle.
It wears on them. I mean, you see it in their face, you see it in their body language.
So Scott Lanner, who is Director of Operations and Safety, decided to do something. He got permission from airport administration to open this temporary food bank in an old police interview room. His idea, empty shelves soon full of food and other items, and the donations keep coming.
Thank you for doing all this.
Thank you so much.
I can't walk past them and talk and deal with them every day and not do something. So my do something was, I got a lot of friends with a big mouth.
Friends and strangers with even bigger hearts. What do you want to say to the workers?
Thank you for all you do. Even though you're out here with no pay, thank you for what you do.
The donated items will be distributed to any of the 103 furloughed Tower, TSA, and Customs workers who need a little help to stretch their bank accounts for necessities like gas, rent, and mortgages.
And as you can see, this room is packed full of non-perishable food items and toiletries. It was almost bare earlier this morning. And in fact, there's so many items in this room that they've had to move incoming donations to the next office over. We're told that furloughed workers at the airport can start shopping, so to speak, first thing in the morning, and people can continue making these donations here at the airport anytime tomorrow from 8 until 5. Of course, we are covering the news live in Lexington from the LEX 18 mobile newsroom. Back to you.
What a great idea. As federal workers affected by the government shutdown are on the eve of missing their second paycheck, more help is cropping up here locally.
Yeah, Haydens Eatery at the Bluegrass Stockyards believe a good meal should never be out of reach. Claire Crouch has more about what they're offering as we continue our big story team coverage.
When you think of the Stockyards, the first thing that comes to mind probably isn't a delicious place to eat.
Put a little cheddar on top.
But at Haydens Eatery at the Bluegrass Stockyards, that's exactly what they're serving up.
Everything's made here in-house. Lots of our products are Kentucky proud.
They've got biscuits, eggs, and of course burgers available 7 days a week to anyone who walks through the door. But right now, they've got a special deal just for furloughed federal workers.
We're a family-owned business, so we can only imagine what it's like to lose a paycheck.
All you have to do is show up with your federal ID, and the folks here will fix you up. With the purchase of a drink, you can get a breakfast sandwich of your choice, or for lunch, a specialty burger or sandwich platter.
We want to do something to help the community out. The community's been really good to us and supported us, so it's time for us to give back.
The idea is to offer a little comfort to their neighbors during a time when money may be tight, and they're prepared to do so as long as the need remains.
Till they get paid again.
Covering the news in Lexington, Claire Crouch, LEX 18 News.
And that offers good Monday through Thursday for breakfast and lunch. Just bring your federal ID.
A second case of pertussis has been confirmed in a Lexington high school. The health department notified Henry Clay High School parents of the contagious respiratory illness, also known as whooping cough. The vaccine is required for school-aged children. The health department also recommends children ages 11 and up get a booster shot. And folks,
across central and eastern Kentucky are going to need all the warm fluids, not only to fight off all the cold bugs, but also the bitter cold that's going to be tracking in as we go through the overnight. Right now, we're sitting at 29 degrees. The first cold push came in last night. There's going to be a secondary batch that arrives later on as a strong cold front will sweep through. It could also bring us a few snow flurries, even some brief light snow showers. But right now in the Max Track Live Doppler, we're coming up clean. So skies will stay mostly cloudy tonight as we approach midnight, as we could begin to see a few more flakes flying. No accumulation is expected, and everything will be drying out and clearing out by the start of the day tomorrow. But as the skies start to clear, that's when temperatures start to get really cold, as many of us will be waking up in the upper single digits, if not the lower teens. Wind chills will be dropping below zero as winds are going to stay rather gusty even as we head into the afternoon hours. Temperatures for your Friday will close out the week with highs in the low to even mid-20s with sunshine, but there is some good news for the weekend. Temperatures are on their way up at least slightly. I'll have more details on that coming up in your complete Storm Tracker forecast.
Thank you, Jill.
Well, now to the latest about that incident outside the Lincoln Memorial in Washington involving those Northern Kentucky high school students.
Native American activist Nathan Phillips spoke to NBC's Today Show this morning, reacting to yesterday's interview the network did with the student at the center of the controversy. Phillips says the Covington Catholic students were angrily chanting at the group of Black Hebrew Israelites. The students say that group was shouting derogatory slurs at them. Phillips says he was trying to de-escalate the situation. He says he used his drum to reach God and that he felt, quote, spiritually moved to go over to the students. When asked about 16-year-old Nicholas Sandman's interview with the Today Show yesterday, here's what Phillips had to say.
Coached and written up for him, insincerity, lack of responsibility. You know, those are the words I came up with, and but then I went to go pray about it, and then I woke up with this forgiving heart, and so I forgive him.
Phillips says the Native Americans were not able to move because the boys surrounded them, which contradicts what Sandman says happened. People rallied at the state capitol this morning for education.
But this time, it wasn't the public school supporters. It was for school choice. LEX 18's Carolina Buchek has that story.
With their bright yellow scarves in hand, kids joined their parents and teachers to celebrate National School Choice Week.
And that means celebrating the options that families have now, but also talking about other families who currently don't have options.
Those options include religious or any other type of private schools. Parents who support school choice say having the ability to choose is important because public schools didn't work for their families.
Best fit for them is smaller class sizes and a place where they feel absolutely safe.
People in favor of school choice say they want to find a better way to fund opportunities for all kids to pick where they want to go to school. And so far, scholarships have helped many families afford private education.
I'm a restaurant manager, so obviously I'm not breaking the bank. We're not breaking the bank. I know there's a ton of other people that are middle class, lower class, that need the choice of where to send their kid and what fits their kid the best.
Not everyone is in favor of school choice, though. There is a big battle over funding for public schools, and some people believe that's where funds should go.
God bless your children.
Covering the news in Frankfort, Carolina Buchek, LEX 18 News.
A deputy jailer in Franklin County has found himself on the wrong side of a jail cell after he was arrested and accused of having a sexual relationship with a female inmate.
And it's not the only investigation surrounding that jail this week. LEX 18's Mike Valenti reports.
Brandon Price has probably seen a lot of mugshots taken. Now he's the subject of one. The deputy jailer arrested Tuesday and charged with sodomy in the 3rd degree. An investigation began after the head jailer told police he suspected Price had some type of sexual relationship with an inmate. Just hours later, early Wednesday morning, a separate investigation launched after 21-year-old inmate Dylan Stratton was found dead in the jail. The autopsy results won't be released for another 12 to 14 weeks.
Shocking.
Thomas Walker was briefly locked up inside the Franklin County Jail last year, and he says he knew Dylan Stratton well.
Like everything hits me all at once, and I just don't know. Sometimes I don't know what to feel or think. I just lose track of thought.
A week of turmoil at the jail, leaving Walker to wonder,
what was the reason why?
Covering the news in Frankfurt, Mike Valenti, LEX 18 News.
A spokesperson for the jail declined to comment on either incident. Still ahead, after an Estill County rescue dog was shot and killed, the community has rallied to raise money for a new one.
But they were short of their goal until a Central Kentucky man stepped in to help with that and more. That's next on LEX 18 News at 6.